here we are for an M15. This will be our first 8-4 recording. I have Lucky Draw here with me.
Hey.
So we got some pretty sweet cards in this pack, actually. This is a really strong pack. Got Triplicate Spirits, Devouring Light, Frostlings, Netcaster Spider, and the old Genesis Hydra, but I like bomby stuff. I think Genesis
You think bombs are good in this format?
I think bombs are good in all formats, but this one is...
That's a very broad statement.
That's why I do videos. Help the people. But Genesis Hydra, I think that's actually a pretty sweet card.
I mean, honestly, it's between that and Triplicate Spirits, right?
Yeah, a lot of people think Triplicate Spirits is one of like the best 3 or 4 cards in the set. I haven't played with it a ton. Obviously, it's good, but I haven't played with it a ton to know like where I rank it. You know, 3 1/1 flyers is good, especially against a deck that can't deal with flyers. It's very strong, but I think I like Genesis Hydra. Plus, that passes another Devouring Light and some white cards. So people to our left will probably be white. I prefer to take bombs just because they're fun. What do you think?
Yeah, I would take the Hydra. Also, I mean, you can play with a common like Triplicate Spirits. Not that it gets passed all that often, but you can play with it more often than you get to play with Genesis Hydra. Check it out, see how it plays.
Yeah, I think I agree with all those sentiments. So the rare is taken out of this pack, which leaves us with relatively good stuff. I actually saw a lot of people saying they like Military Intelligence and the blue-white, like aggro-y type decks. I still haven't ran it. Can't give my opinion on it. Seems like it could go either way. But Bloodhouse is fine. I think here is probably between a Frostlings and maybe the Paragon. I mean, we only have 1 green creature, so we're not locked into green. I would take the best card here, but Paragon gives you a good push towards running lots of big green fatties. What do you like in this pack?
Yeah, I think green is the worst of the Paragons. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head and their ability, but I think it is the worst.
You think giving Trample's the worst?
I do.
I think I would disagree with that, but...
What do you like less than that? Well, in any case, we got limited time.
Probably the blue one. Anyway.
I think... Oh, I like flying more than travel. We can take it anyway. I mean, an Anthem for your guys is great.
I mean, it was between that and probably Frostlings for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's stuff. We're still seeing lots of white stuff. That's all pretty good. I think the Undergrowth Scavenger and the Wolfforged Golem are both pretty good, though. Convoking out this guy on, turn 4 or so isn't super terrible. And if you play the black-green deck, where you kind of mill some stuff...
But that is the if. If you don't, then he's almost worthless.
Is he, though? I mean, number of all creature cards and all graveyards, there's always some cards in the graveyard. So you play him for 4, and I mean, he's a 3/3 at worst, like...
No. I mean,
you think a lot of times he's worse than that?
I ran him only one time, but there were times that he just didn't do anything.
What do you like better than that?
I think we got to go white. I think we're getting a white signal. It does stink that we passed white to our left. But
you like these white cards better than Wolfforged Golem?
I do. I would probably take the Pegasus or the Raise the Alarm. Either one of those.
Alright, we'll take Pegasus. If it were just me drafting, I would probably take the Golem, just for the people watching.
Fair.
So here, still some pretty good white cards. I mean, I'm not in love with the Boonweaver Giant because it's a 7 mana, but I think Sanctified Charge is pretty sweet in a white deck. Other good cards, of course, Divination, Living Totem's reasonable, Charging Rhino is pretty reasonable, even Gather Courage is pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is a tough pick. We're more committed to green, certainly. I think Sanctified Charge between green and white is the best card, but Living Totem's pretty strong. Gather Courage is solid too. I would probably take Living Totem over Courage at this point.
I think Living Totem's pretty good, and I think that's what I would take. If we looked pretty strong white, I would take the Sanctified Charge, but here I think Living Totem's good. I do like, the Convoke is pretty sweet, but let's build some green fatties with our Paragon. Okay. I think Waste Not's worth a couple tickets, but we'll go ahead and ship that. Probably. I don't know about Overwhelm. I don't like the sorcery speed on that and not giving Trample. And Convoke's a weird mechanic when you're trying to attack. Let me tap all my guys and then...
and no Trample?
No Trample.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got the Roaring Primodox. You do have a Sanctified Charge.
I feel like trying to get the value on Primodox it's okay. I don't love it here.
It works with Living Totem pretty okay. It also works with Genesis Hydra pretty good.
Yeah, it's really slow. I don't know, I could do that. I would probably go Bear or Charge over Primodox.
Really? I hear all those things. I'm going to take the Primodox anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if it's good or bad, and if it's bad, then, that was my pick. We already sorted by... Okay, fair enough. So here we're looking at Charging Rhino or Ranger's Guile or moving out into a third color, which we're not really sunk into white yet.
No, but Mongrel without any artifacts, or gosh, what else would we even be looking at?
Yeah, I think probably just Charging Rhino.
Yeah, I don't love it, but it's fine.
Yeah, he charges. He's a Rhino. He's a Charging Rhino. Got to be a Hunt the Week here. So, yeah. I still think this card's worth giving a shot if you can kind of go with it, but not over a Hunt the Week.
Yeah.
And out of the cards left in this pack, really, Hunt the Week's the best card, and then probably Necromancer's Assistant.
I agree. I will say this about Scavenger. It's a card that I like to keep my eye on, but when I've already got a couple other cards moving me in that direction, something like a Necromancer's Assistant or the Wayfinder that mills things off the top.
I think definitely if you're playing this guy, those cards, those will go way up. You want to have some of those. But let's take the Hunt the Week here. We're definitely looking pretty okay on green. So here there's a Naturalize or the Undergrowth Scavenger. Not interested in any of these blue or white cards. Festerglim is pretty sweet, but we're looking like we're going to be pretty heavy green. Not that -1/-1 is going to kill most of our green creatures, but I think here you go with the Scavenger and see if you can make something work. What do you like?
I kind of like Festergloom, but I'll go with Scavenger. I would probably take Festergloom, but either one's fine.
And just try to pick off all the X ones?
Yeah, I don't know if we'd play either one.
Alright. Well, we took Festergloom, so we can go into Festergloom number 2.
It's also pretty late wilds.
It is pretty good wilds. Wilds, of course, gives you lots of options for the future.
Yeah.
If you are going to be playing black-green, second Festergloom's pretty good.
I agree. What do you feel about that card? Main deck or sideboard?
I would probably play one main deck and then see.
I agree.
But but when it's good, it's going to be great. A lot of times. I'm going to take a second Festergloom.
Okay.
Alright, well, there's a third Festergloom or a Blood Host.
That's pretty gloomy.
That is pretty gloomy. Play 3 of these in one turn, though. Boom. You might kill some of their stuff. So I think it's Blood Host here, right?
Yeah, we're not even heavy black to do the one-sided Festergloom.
Yeah. Most of our creatures aren't going to be X1s, it doesn't look like, but...
Right.
Okay, so what do you like between Crippling Blight and Hunter's Ambush?
Yeah, I guess take the Blight.
This is an okay trick with lots of green creatures, but it...
Yeah, I guess if we're looking heavy green, we might be heavy green. Yeah, sure.
It's like a one-sided fog.
We've already got the...
And there's a Necromancer's Assistant, so...
We've already got the if we're black and we're against X1s.
Yeah, so
down.
How can we lose? So we'll take the Necromancer's Assistant. I think Waste Not is worth a couple tickets, so I'm going to take that over the Vine Weft.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't think
we're
going to...
video.
I don't think we're going to be playing Vine Weft anyway. We'll totally pick up that Soul Vendor. Okay, so pack 1, we're looking probably black-green. We did see some white cards, but we probably aren't going to see any this pack because we passed lots of them. Grind Clock. Well, I don't think we're going to be playing Grind Clock.
What?
Yeah. But there is some pretty nice black cards, though. There's a Gravedigger and a Curse of Spirit and a Covenant of Blood, and I think Covenant of Blood has to be the pick here. Wayfinder's probably pretty good in the deck we're building, but we didn't actually pick up any of those graveyard guys just yet. And I think Covenant of Blood just has to be the best card here for what we're looking to do. What do you think?
I would take Grind Clock.
Would you really?
I would. If I didn't take Grind Clock, I think it's actually pretty tough between Covenant and Gravedigger.
Grind Clock, huh?
Yeah, like the... let's highlight it for the people. Also for me. We don't have the pain. Whatever.
No, but you can just you can do this. I
like it.
No, I'm not going to play around. So, I ask your opinion. I say no anyway.
Yeah. Well, you're wrong, but
okay. Covenant of Blood it is.
I'll let the people let you know in the comments how wrong you were.
Yeah,
that's fine. They will vindicate me.
Sure. I think it's probably Siege Worm, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do something with Convoke stuff at 7, I think playing a 5/5 Trample Threat over killing a dude is probably better.
Yeah, I mean, I like Covenant obviously a lot because we just took it, but
we're also more committed to green.
We definitely are. I mean, I even like Carrying Crow, and Bronze Sable's pretty sweet in this format against the Intimidating X2s.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty reasonable. But here we'll take Siege Worm. I guess maybe the guy to our left didn't go white because Preeminent Captain's probably pretty good in a white deck. A lot of white.
Yeah, actually, that is strange to see.
Yeah, it's a little surprising. I do think a lot of people really try to go red in this format because, I mean, it is good, but I think people...
Oh, hey.
Red's been pretty drafted. There's some good cards here, actually, but I think it's got to be the old Elvish Mystic.
Yep.
I've been pretty happy with Midnight Guard, too, surprisingly.
Yeah, he's better than you'd think.
He is a lot better than you think, especially if you put something like some sort of... aura on him and make him like really strong, but Rotfeaster Maggot and Necrobite, like something might come back out of this pack, but we'll be happily picking the Mystic. Some blue cards here. Peel from Reality I like maybe more than most people, I'm not sure, but Nimbus too, but I think probably just Titanic Growth here. It's nice to have a trick. What do you think? I don't love Carnivorous Moss Beast. We're already kind of heavy in 5 and 7 Convoke type cards anyway.
Yeah, I mean, really, Growth isn't great, but it's fine, and if not that, probably Shade, I would think.
I think it's between that and Shade, but I think I'd rather have the Growth.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Wayfinder?
Yeah, Wayfinder, a Shaman of Spring, a Typhoid Rats. Those are all pretty sweet cards. I mean, Shaman.
Yeah, Shaman's good, but I would like to get a 2-drop here.
Yeah, I mean...
And also the whole black-green...
Yeah.
It'll help out all of the 4-mana graveyard guy that we picked.
All 3 of them that we picked. When I was watching part of the Pro Tour, they were saying that a lot of people were saying that they think Wayfinder's better in this kind of a deck than Mystic. I don't know about that, but let's run the Wayfinder and give it the old college try. Here, it probably...
They really did not take white to our left. That's surprising.
In the few drafts I've done, it seems like white's been pretty underdrafted. But here, it's between the Plummet and the Evolving Wilds. I guess Shadowclub Vampire is actually pretty good, too. I don't know if we're going to need Evolving Wilds. We're probably not splashing anything. It never hurts to cut your land cost down, I guess.
I like fixing more than most people. But, I don't know. Do we feel pretty strongly about black? We probably do, right?
I guess we really only have a couple black cards, Bloodhost and Covenant. I mean, I guess we're not that black.
Yeah, but, I mean, a Swiftclaw here is probably not necessary.
No, I'm going to take the Vampire, I think.
That's fine.
I mean, we're definitely running big cards. Sign in Blood's pretty good.
Yeah, we're heavier green than black is the only...
We did see quite a few black cards fairly late in Pack 1, though.
True.
I mean, it's between that and Ranger's Guile, I think, or are you still thinking Evolving Wilds?
I like having one, but especially like we see the red card that cares about forests, uncommon.
Oh right, the Curved Chieftain.
Yeah, that's the one.
That one is pretty good.
I like the option for a splash. I would take the Evolving Wilds.
I hear you. I'm gonna take Sign of Blood.
Have fun not casting it.
I'm gonna cast that, bro.
You're gonna wait around and not be able to.
I'm gonna totally cast that.
Familiar?
Yeah, I mean, Back to Nature is interesting, but yeah.
I guess we don't have any enchantments, right?
I know we don't, but I think the 2/3 for 3 is probably what we need right now.
You don't want to 4 for 1 somebody?
I do want to 4 for someone, but that would be sideboardy, and this is main decky. I mean,
I agree. No, 3-drop's good.
There's your Grind Clock right there.
Jeez.
I read somewhere that Grind Clock is actually unplayable in draft, and you should not play it.
Oh, those people are wrong. But
I would even take a Cursed Spirit here. Are you really on Grind Clock? If you really want Grind Clock, we'll play it. I would take a Cursed Spirit.
You have to look at your deck and see if you're defensive.
We're pretty big and beefy, like attacky.
Yeah, take the Spirit. God, if we drafted our deck to go around a Grind Clock strategy and been more defensive, which is fine anyway. Oh man, but that's fine.
I don't know if we want a second Bloodhost. It's either that or just hating an Soul Artifact. I think Bloodhost might even make this deck. I mean, I don't know how many 5 and 7 drops
I would
we want,
move it to the sideboard right now, but
Yeah.
it's fine.
Here, do you like the Shade?
Yeah, we'll cast it with all the swamps we're playing for Sign and Blood.
We're going to be playing plenty of black cards, bro. I'm telling you right now. Sure. Tormod's Crypt it is.
We probably do want to move one of the Pester Glooms to the side, right? Do you think we're playing 2, maybe?
No, probably not. I mean, we have almost a deck already. I mean, the thing is, Genesis Hydra wants these big, beefy creatures, because...
Yeah, you could probably move that over to the 5 or 6 slot.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess we don't have a 6 slot. But...
I'll make one.
Sure.
I mean, our 7s are both convoked,
yeah,
so they're not really
they're
true
kind of
7s.
a 6 slot anyway.
Like, even, like 5 or 6 slot. I guess we can just do it like
a
like
6
this.
slot with no 6s.
Yeah. Haunted Plate Mail is a pretty sweet card. And I think a pretty clear pick here, since there's no good black or green cards. Crippling Blight's fine, but Haunted Plate Mail's pretty good.
It's solid. I don't love first picking it, but yeah, you're right. I mean,
I'm okay with it. I think it's pretty strong.
I don't even know what else we would take, really. Hey, what do you think about, not that we would take it, but Sacred Army, what do you think about that card?
I haven't played with it a ton. I guess it's probably good if you're running like Triplicate Spirits or something. I mean, I guess it's good. You can make any creature really strong, and you don't have to equip it. So just being able to give any creature +1/+0 for 2 mana is pretty. I think it's pretty strong.
I've seen it play to very good effect.
I think it's probably pretty good. I think you want that more in a smaller creature deck than the one we have, because our creatures
Like more of a green-white convoke.
Yeah, or just
Like we have a little convoke
or even
theme,
like,
but not much.
Yeah, or even like red-white smaller guy type cards that you can beef them up, make them all like trade with big stuff or get in for 1 million damage. Whereas in our deck, most our stuff is hopefully winning that battle by itself, because that's the goal. But again, not really any black or green cards. We got a Shaman of Spring, we got a Rotfeaster Maggot, which is actually pretty good, but we're already kind of heavy in the curve, and it's a little bit more defensive than aggressive. But
Play it next to Grind Clock and just grind it out.
I mean, playing a 3/5 and gaining between 3 and 5 life, that's not bad. I mean, 3/5 is pretty good in this format, actually. I mean, it gets through a lot of stuff.
It's solid.
I
am looking at our 2 and 3 slot, and man, they are looking light. But
so you're thinking Black Cat?
yeah, I mean, Shaman of Spring seems to be the best card to go with the 1,000,000 4-drops we have.
We do have 4 drops. Living Totems Convoke 4, and Hunt the Weak is probably not really a 4, but
I mean, it's probably Maggot or Shaman, right?
I mean, I think it's got to be one of those. I mean, obviously our plan is to get
Yeah, I guess Maggot.
to big stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely have to get our curve down. As I pick the 5-drop. Oh, there's another Elvish Mystic. There's also an Undergrowth Scavenger, but I think since we are heavy a 4-drop, and I mean, Mystic's just too good.
Yeah, there's the Scavenger and the Necromancer's Assistant to go with it.
And a Triplicate Spirits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, white must be pretty open, but we'll snap up
I wonder
this
what this
Mystic.
draft would have looked like if we had been in white.
I don't know. How do you feel about Endless Obedience? That's an interesting card.
Yeah.
It's expensive and it's convoke-y. I mean, I
Again,
think for us, we got to play Child of Night, right?
Yeah. If we had more of that graveyard theme going, which we should have in green-black, but we just don't.
Well, we're trendsetters. Path.
Yeah.
Maker
Shaman's
guys.
fine. We did look heavier black, but I don't want 2 Sign Bloods. Yeah, I would go
Child of Night, I think. And we get some 2-drops. Ooh, lots of... Oh, there's your Kurt Chieftain. I don't love splashing for stuff like that.
Well, we also didn't get an Evolving Wilds, so...
Right, well, that's why I'm not super into I'm not really into... I mean, this guy's sweet, but I don't love breaking my mana to try to play something unless it's, absolutely game-winning, and while this is very good and...
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if we had one, I think it would be iffy on playing it here.
That being said, what do you like here? Willforged Golem? It's got to be Willforged Golem, right?
Well, I mean, we could take the Chieftain and see if we get a couple free mana fixers, but I would just take
I think
the
we'll
gold.
go Forge Bone. There's your Nissa's Expedition. There's your mana fixing. But it's
The old 5-drop mana fixer.
it's Convoke-y. It was between Restock, which I've actually heard people say they like quite a bit, but I don't know about that. It does return any 2 target cards, but I think it's probably just Necromancer's Assistant, fill up our 3-drop, and
Sure.
I mean, we definitely don't have a graveyard theme, but maybe we'll get
We got
another.
that and a Wayfinder.
Maybe we'll get some of those guys that we've passed a ton of. Got to be the Carrion Crow here, right?
Yep.
Here's an interesting choice.
Bad 2-drop or decent 3-drop.
And the thing is, I think this isn't as bad of a 2-drop as it normally looks like, because it does block the Krenko's Enforcer, and it does block the Accursed Spirit, although we probably are going to be able to block Accursed Spirit anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's that or the Witch's Familiar. I guess we take Witch's Familiar.
I would.
I mean, Necrobite I actually kind of like more than most people too, I think, but I guess here we take a Crippling Blight. I don't know if we're going to play it, but I don't really like Eternal Thirst. Whenever a creature dies, it gets +1/+1, and your creature gets lifelink, but it doesn't give it any stats to begin with, so you're just giving your guy lifelink.
Yeah.
That's not amazing. Probably Crippling Blight, huh?
Sure.
Alright, there's an Overwhelm, there's a Vine Weft.
So, Overwhelm?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to play it.
Yeah, probably not.
That 3rd Necromancer's Assistant. I guess they're fine.
Yeah, I would take it here.
I guess now having that card any of the cards that... Alright, we're taking Sign in Blood. I mean, we're black or...
Yeah, I mean, as it turned out, the Scavenger 4-drop guy would have been good.
Yeah, he would have been sick in this deck.
But we had 0 assistants or Wayfinders at the time.
Yeah. So...
I don't know, maybe we should have taken him on spec anyway.
I mean, I think there's so much graveyard if you end up in black-green, but we weren't even black at that point, so...
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
he would be good in this deck with 3 Necromancer's Assistant, but... Alright, well, we're going to build this up, and we will chat about our decisions here in a moment. Okay, this is the way we have thrown it together. We're going to try 1 Fester Gloom main. We actually cut the Paragon because we're not very heavy in green, and even though it's kind of cool, it doesn't really seem like it's going to do much for us. We're not playing the Overwhelm or the Primodox because we don't really have any come into play effects that are very good. We don't really gain anything from that. Hunter's Ambush, same thing, not a lot of green cards. In our 5-drops, we decided to go with the Maggot, the Vampire, and the Charging Rhino over the Blood Host. We're playing 1 of the Sign-in Bloods. And yeah, I guess that's about it. We'll go to round 1.